Welcome to Reviews by Women.
Ladies and gentlemen, 'twas not William Shakespeare, but Sir Edward de Vere, who wrote the poems and plays we so revere. That is the plot of Anonymous, directed by Roland Emmerich, based on our story by John Orloff, a conspiracy that shows the backstory.
We all know William Shakespeare, the most famous author of all time, writer of 37 plays, 154 sonnets, several epic poems, and why we are here today. But what if I told you Shakespeare never wrote a single word?
Sweet Sorrow. I was touched and moved by the tragedies. If you like Romeo and Juliet, this is a romantic tragedy, but it's also not just a man and a woman and being separated, but also a man and his son, and a man and his life's work, and it's just a tearjerker. Take tissues.
All right. I found it entirely different. I found it too much of a blur of characters that were indistinguishable, and so it was hard for me to get to the gut-wrenching aspect of the film, and that very much disappointed me. For me, in the first at least 30 minutes of the play, everyone was anonymous. I loved the visuals. I thought the movie was a visual feast.
The CGI.
The recreation of the
London.
Elizabethan London,
Yes.
the misty Thames, the Parliament in the distance. It was close-ups and panorama were so minutely detailed.
I was just hoping to keep my eyes open as long as possible and see as much as I could before it disappeared. And I loved Vanessa Redgrave as Queen Elizabeth. She was like an imp. She was so fun when she was in her little private moments with people. It was just charming.
She was the only sympathetic character for me. She was the only one that engaged my heart. Her dotage and everyone clamoring for her to name a successor. I loved that the lush costumes of Elizabeth, of course, totally swallowed her up in the end. The final dress with the puff sleeves just ate her up, and she was hardly anything. And it was her rusting kind of visage anyway that was so intriguing to watch.
None of your poems or your plays will ever carry your name.
And I also loved Rhys Ifans as Edward de Vere, the 17th Earl of Oxford. He got me. I cried.
10,000 souls, all listening to the writings of one man, the ideas of one man. That's power, Robert!
Since when did words ever win a kingdom?
Leave that to me.
I thought the character of Edward de Vere was flat. He did not show any love.
Oh, I thought he was subtle.
Haughty. He was
Yes,
haughty.
he was
and
very
aloof.
haughty, very haughty.
I thought he was precisely the kind of man that a Shakespeare would have buffooned.
In my world, one does not write plays. William Shakespeare. People like you do.
Mark Rylance, who is one of the many excellent actors in this movie, he's heading up an organization called Shakespeare Authorship Trust. William Shakespeare is a possible candidate, and they present that case. They say, well, Edward de Vere is a possible candidate.
Shakespeare! Fraud! Charlatan!
So who done it? It may have been Shakespeare, but it may not have been.
Thanks for watching Reviews by Women. Today we reviewed Anonymous.
And we remember how much easier it is to criticize than to create. Thanks for watching.